Aren't you about tired of listening to sports shows with all the woke bullshit? So are we. This is Patriot Sports Radio.
Patriot Sports Radio.
Fed up with the national talking heads and biases of mainstream sports media. If it's sports, from the high school level to the pros, we're talking about it. Like the red-blooded Americans we are.
God bless America.
God bless America.
God bless America.
Let's do this. And now, here's Eric, Angela, John, Chris, and the coach.
And Elio, wake and rake, dude. It's Sunday morning. We got playoff games looking at. We got playoff games that just happened. All kinds of stuff to talk about. That was some wild stuff last night. Elio, how you doing down in Florida? You got a sweatshirt on. What is it?
Dude,
I saw him wearing parkas during the game last night. It gets cold down there, huh?
Dude, it's 40 degrees this morning, and people don't know how to act over here. I don't know how to act anymore, man. My blood has thinned out so much, man. I am freezing my ass off up here, bro. It got to 40 degrees this morning. It was crazy, man. I mean, people are wearing their Timberlands, their boots, their freaking hoodies, and leather jackets. That's how bad it gets down here, man. They don't know how to act.
Heavy Steps is here. He says the Chargers are lucky. It's Sunday. It's the Lord's Day. They are forgiven. Rough ride for him last night. I bet he thought that Chargers bet was in the bag.
Everybody.
Fourth and Flex is here already. They're firing off bets they like. Long shot bet Diggs, Chase, Jefferson, all over 100 yards, 50-1. Kind of like that. Kind of like that big game.
Yeah, you got to sprinkle a little dust on that one for sure. We also got James Cook plus 5 receptions.
Okay.
Trenton Irwin, anytime TD.
Trevor Lawrence is him, he says. I suppose.
Is that an acronym?
Is that what the kids are saying? That's what the kids are saying.
Yeah.
No, I think that's just like you're the man.
Yeah.
I believe is what it is. I'm
Is
not
it a pronoun?
I'm not real. Huh?
Does that mean a pronoun or something?
Maybe that's why it's come about as the new cool thing. I'm not sure. But
Have you heard it before?
oh yeah,
Wow, dude. I live in a cave.
it's the
A
thing.
dad cave.
It's the thing right now, yeah. Whereas
Is
you
him.
would have said like Michael Jordan is boss or whatever they said back then.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's rad.
Yeah, tubular.
Rad.
You would say him now.
I mean, he's the man, bro. That's but
Yep.
He's
proved a
the
lot.
him.
it's
Hey,
him.
can you use this in a sentence, Eric, so I understand it?
Just what he said. Trevor Lawrence is him. A lot of times you capitalize all of it. You capitalize maybe just the H. Maybe they're comparing. Maybe people are comparing these athletes to our Lord and Savior.
So, can I just say, as a Gen X guy, how do you start he's like the word badass or is that a verb or whatever it is to make like you can't start like a cuss word with an H
No.
just there's no
Yeah, you got to have
Shit.
consonants.
you gotta he's badass, he's kick-ass, he's him. What is that?
Yeah, it's not flying
That's a
with
little
Chris.
beta for me. I can't get down with that. I can't get you can't get no punch behind that word.
No, not
What do
really.
you think, Elio?
Listen, man, I have no fucking clue. I mean, I'm Cuban for God's sakes, all right, bro? It's like it's my second language, all right?
I
I've
wonder,
never heard that.
were the
I
coach
know.
of the year, were the coach of the year votes counted already, or did Doug Peterson win coach of the year last night? I wonder. Does Brian Daboll have to win by 40 today to keep up? I don't know. Jason Cooper says America's team will be the surprise of the day. After what I saw last night, I mean,
He's talking about Miami too.
Miami, yes,
everybody. He is not talking about the Cowboys.
oh yeah, I guess I already am. In my brain, the Dolphins are America's team.
Yeah, we've hung out
Normally
with Coop
people-
enough now that we've already retired the Cowboys as America's team in our heads.
You got to give
Normally
him
people-
credit, man. Loyalty to the bone when it comes to his team. I mean, he could have no quarterback playing today, and Coop still got to root for them to win. And actually, in his mind, just psychologically reverse his mind thought to they're going to win today. No, America's team's going to win today. I mean,
Yep.
no,
Here's how.
Coop is going to be out there with his flag waving it, man. Even if it's
Tank top.
at halftime. Yep, tank top. Showing the guns, getting ready for battle.
Guns.
Yeah. Sure, they get like 2.5 yards fewer per play with Skylar Thompson than with Tua. If you're ranked all the quarterbacks who have thrown 100 passes, he's 47th out of 52. And Teron Armstead, he's got a torn pectoral, and the running back broke his thumb, but miracles could happen. The Bills aren't playing their best football right now.
Good morning, Angela.
Hey, Angela.
Yes, I am confused, Chris. Is that a pronoun then?
Yep.
Is that what it is?
Him is a pronoun, yes.
I don't think they mean it in the word like, nowadays where you got to be politically correct. He, him. I don't think it's meant that way. It's more him as like he's the man.
Yeah.
That kind of crap. But,
it just doesn't come off the tongue as energetic as he's badass.
Yeah. It doesn't land with much.
Nah, it doesn't. It doesn't even get off the terminal.
We might get canceled for this, but again, it's another pussification of a terminology like people do nowadays. You know what I mean? It's like
nothing better than the Wake and Rake.
Yeah, that's what he meant, man.
Yeah.
All right.
So
yep,
there is a chance.
2%, 5%. I don't know.
Last night, what was the percentage of the Jags to win that game? Like, if you would have bet that game at half, Jags money line.
I heard it was 11-1 at halftime. I'm really mad I didn't do that.
That's a really low chance. I think Miami's chance is better.
The Chargers had a 90+% win percentage up to like the last couple minutes. And that the chart,
man.
Oh, you can't see the chart, but it just nosedives. I love looking at those win probability charts when a game like that happens.
I didn't look it up before the show, but I would love to see when was the last time. And I don't think the answer is probably never that a quarterback threw 4 picks in the first half and came back to win the freaking game.
Yeah. A team has never been +5 in turnovers and lost a playoff game before.
So that is like so much. It's mind blowing.
There's so much weird math going on there that doesn't make sense that my head just goes.
Yep.
That's just a freak game. That was there's some excellent halftime adjustments going on in the locker room. Obviously, so coaches saw something.
And whatever you had to say to Trevor Lawrence to make him not like towards the end of the second quarter, he was afraid to throw the ball because he's like, man, every time I think it's zone, and this fucking guy comes out of nowhere. 3 picks in the first half.
This is where we'd wish Coach was on, because maybe Coach would have saw that defense and been like, oh, they adjusted this and it was real simple. And sometimes it's like that.
Yeah.
Like you said, it was a game of adjustments. And if you look at the opposite sidelines, the better coach made the better adjustments and won the game. And the other coach did not adjust having the lead in order to keep the lead. That's what happened there. And Staley has been doing that all year long. And it's not fair for a talented team like they have, like you mentioned.
Justin Herbert.
I mean, look at Mike Williams. Why did you play him, right? You got Allen. You have Eckler. I mean, and even your other 2 receivers, your Palmer, who's been playing great, covering for all the injuries. I mean,
he filled in nice.
Yeah, offensive team. I mean, and it was some bonehead plays with Bosa getting upset and stuff like that, and refs make some stupid calls here and there. But that game has to be pinned to just not being responsible enough and adjusting enough in order to, number one, make the adjustment when they're trying to make that comeback. When they see they drop 14 points like that real quick, it doesn't matter how much you are. You still got to make adjustments. You still got a long lead, but come on, man, you got okay. Listen, they did this, they did that, even though we're up by 20. Let's go ahead and do something in order to make sure it doesn't happen again. They didn't do none of that shit.
No, and you think of Staley as the let's go for it on 4th down analytics aggressive guy, but he's actually a defensive coach. So I don't know where the defense was in that second half, but it feels like one team went in the locker room and had a party at halftime, and the other team broke out the whiteboard and got down to business.
Absolutely. It looks like one team went to Vegas and the other one stayed home and got ready for it.
Like, okay, boys, anything that happened can happen in reverse. How do we get 5 turnovers? Let's start there.
You know what? Believe it or not, you got to give Trevor Lawrence some credit. You got to have some mental toughness, all right, in order to come back from that. And like you said, he got it in his head, like you said, in the second quarter. I mean, he didn't want to throw the ball, but then to come back and start firing on all cylinders, man, that you got to give the kid some credit, man. There's a reason why he was the number 1 pick, and he's proven it this year. So
There's a difference between a Cleveland number 1 pick and everybody else's number 1 pick. That looks like a number 1 quarterback.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, he did went in to eat his Campbell soup, came out. He's a different human being.
Yeah, that was a massive step in his development.
Bosa got no pussy last night. I can relate, Jason. So grass is Cowboys kryptonite. I haven't looked at these stats.
That's what I've been hearing. They are bad on grass. The pass rush can't get home. Tom Brady. Do you think Tom Brady is going to be willing to stand in there and take the shot to get that downfield throw in? Because he hasn't been willing to do that this season, but maybe now that it's the playoffs, he'll take a beating a little bit. Heavy says the Jags were plus 23.5 at one point. Man, why didn't I get on that?
Absolutely. I think Brady will have to. I think he will. There's too much competitive nature in him to go out like that. I think even if he doesn't win the Super Bowl this year, a playoff win as an underdog, even though they're playing at home, but they're still the underdog against a team like the Dallas Cowboys, is another notch, all right, in his legacy. I'm 45 years old. Even if they get eliminated in the next round, it doesn't matter. Look what I did at 45 years old in a really bad season with a bang-up line, no running game. People are talking crap about me. I still have over 4,000 yards. Boom. This is what I'm going to do. That is just iconic, man. If this guy does it, it just keeps adding more and more to his legacy and more distancing from him as the best of all time. That's just what it is.
I mean, he's tied with the Dallas Cowboys franchise with playoff wins. They both have 35. So,
Unreal.
I mean, the problem is the Cowboys have only won 3 playoff games during Brady's career where he's won 35. So one of them is going to have 36.
Exactly.
And I think trying to glean anything from that week 1 game is going to send us down the wrong path. These are two different teams than they were week 1. Dak not playing well. He's thrown at least 1 pick in 7 straight games. And in 4 of those 7, he's thrown 2. So, and then you have this grass thing.
Dude, you go from one legacy building to another legacy that's going to crash into the ground really quick if Dak does not win this playoff round. I mean, Adam said it best when I had him earlier this week. It is a complete devastating and is going to enforce the narrative about Dak Prescott, Romo 2.0. He can win in the playoffs. He's 1-3. Solid teams, great teams year after year, great regular seasons in the past that he's had. It's not going to be good for Dak, and it's definitely going to impact his legacy. And I don't know how much of that is hitting him right here, hearing that over and over this week by the media, which has been the hottest topic. Everybody's talking about Dallas and the Bucs.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, if he's already doubting himself, that's going to really kick it into overdrive. Dak's got to win a playoff game. I mean, the guy got, anytime you set the quarterback market, I feel like you should have to win a playoff game to do that.
Yep.
Angela says Brady hasn't had to push the envelope. He'll light it up today. I think a lot of those, predictable first down runs they've been doing all year, he'll check out of those.
Yeah,
I say it's Tom Brady time.
Think about it. The Dallas has they're tailor-made to destroy this team today, right? Front 4.
It's Monday night though, right? This game's Monday Night Football.
Monday night.
Yeah. Okay, I don't want to screw that up because I'll go to bed and fuck that all up.
Michael Parsons. They got a weak. The Bucs had a weak O-line. No running game to keep this front line honest. So they are tailor made to destroy the Bucs, regardless of the fact they got the better team overall.
Yep.
But it is Dallas and Dak. It hasn't been the same team in the '90s. So from the '90s. So let's see what happens.
Brady needs to essentially take over the team, become the coach. Because the coach doesn't. I thought what's the last guy, the bald guy,
Arian.
Yeah, I thought Arians was just standing there on the sidelines collecting a paycheck, but based on how the team looks without him, maybe he was doing something. He was at least a motivator of some kind.
He was keeping some control behind there. Absolutely. I mean, they look better, but Brady does call a lot of his own plays. No, absolutely.
Yeah, and you got Fournette saying he's playing through a Liz Frank injury, so maybe I bet his pass attempts are set in the 40s. See Brady throwing 50 times today. How many times are they going to throw it in Cincinnati?
I think, did he break the record for most attempts this year?
Yeah, he broke his own record for completions.
So that means he broke the record for attempts.
Yeah, I mean, guy's washed up and he's breaking records. That's wild. What's the first game? The first game today is Bills Dolphins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do the Dolphins score points?
Running the football, I guess. Even though Mostert may not play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jeff Wilson?
running the football. Yeah, Jeff Wilson. They got Ahmed is another backup running up they have who actually had some good had a decent game against the Bills when they went to Buffalo when nobody gave them a shot and they
Salvon Ahmed.
Yeah, exactly.
He can run a little bit.
That's the only thing I see. And hopefully some play action that can hit or Waddle for a nice little game there. It's not Skylar Thompson's not going to go deep. It's going to be the same game plan, right? Give it to the guys in space there in the middle, and so let's see what happens. Let your stud running wide receivers and Waddle and Hill just get some yards off the catch. But it doesn't look good, man. It doesn't look good at all.
No, they're going to have to pull some shit, fake a punt, get a couple. You're going to need Allen to throw 2 picks, I think at least. Possibly run one of those back. I don't know. It's going to have to get pretty magical for Miami to win this game.
They're going to have to I don't know, man. It's not Brock Purdy here, all right? As a third-string quarterback for Miami. It's not. So it doesn't look great, Coop. Coop, I'm sorry, man. The ass whipping is going to be real today. They got to get their asses kicked like they stole something, dude. It's going to be really, really bad.
You know what? I thought that about the Chargers and the Jags. We'll see.
Now, I thought it was going to be a close game. But damn, man, not like that.
Oh, both teams scored over 24.5. Nice. We hit that plus 300. That's good stuff. See, PatriotSportsNow.com. That's where you can find stuff like that. That was a fun game last night. The Dolphins, I just hope they can get a rushing touchdown because I was looking in the wild card specials and I saw each team scores a rushing touchdown was 40-1. I said, let's put $2 American on that. And somebody got a rushing touchdown last night Etienne did. Yeah. Yep. So now I just need the Ravens and the Dolphins really to do it. I think it's going to be a lot of rush attempts in that game. The Bengals, do they just build a lead and hand it off? And he's back.
He's back.
What's up, guys?
God, sounds good too. Boom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't have to yell.
Am I loud?
No, you're good, buddy. You're good.
No. Just leave it exactly how it is. Yeah. Don't do that. We have a perfect technical setup all of a sudden. Just
don't throw your sarcasm in here, Eric. It's not worth the laugh, you fucking asshole.
Eric, get that up there, man.
Just start tweaking stuff.
Nope. Hands off.
Now the coach can explain what the hell happened last night from a coaching standpoint, opposite sidelines, and defense adjustments here.
Man,
coach, please.
I honestly think
that Jags and Chargers game, man.
What did Doug Peterson say?
Yeah. How about Staley effed it up?
Oh man, I'll tell you what. I told these guys, I said that I think how that game will come down is I think the Chargers will trail the entire game, and then at the end of it, they'll come back and win. And I was right. I just had the wrong team. The Chargers, number one, they don't historically do well when they have a lead. They just don't know how to keep it. It's like they kind of go into a shell or whatever. Their guy is very he's a very risk it all analytical dude, and he does some weird things when they're playing, which kind of makes people like him because usually they're playing from behind. And so he does pull out all the stops, and it looks like he's win at all costs. But, when you have a big lead like that, there's a little bit of a strategy too. And they need somebody to teach them. It's okay to play with the lead. You don't always have to have, Herbert in the fourth quarter down by 15. So it's crazy. Crazy.
Coach's mic works now. His video is freezing. Heavy Step says, "Poor coach can't catch a break." Coach's video is it's just off a couple seconds, like dubbed over spaghetti western.
Yeah,
keep up.
We were saying the same thing that
go out and come back in, maybe.
Yeah,
that's what she said. Yeah. Megan said the Jags are terrible, still terrible. You know what?
That team has a future, man. They're loaded right now. They look a lot of young players. There's nobody old. Think about it. There's nobody old in that team. Everybody is like, right in their prime.
6. Yeah.
Calvin Ridley's coming back. I mean, dude, and that defense look they did some work last night after falling from behind so much. I mean, they got a lot of good pieces, man. They got a lot of good pieces. I mean,
They're going to run them all through the driver's license line after that game. Everybody's going to get their driver's license. They're going to be good to go for next year.
Yeah, man, they are.
I don't like the 2 defensive ends numbers in the 40s. Josh Allen and Kayvon Thibodeau or not Kayvon Thibodeau, Walker are 41 and 44. Like, what is this? Give me some 90s. Give me a 57. Megan says against the team that quit. Yeah, they kind of just mailed it.
They had to have quit. Well, all right, coach. So did they change the yep, you're good. Did they change the complete defensive scheme or what did they do? I mean, what did you watch it first of all? I went to bed.
Well, first off, I turned it off about halftime.
Me too.
And I missed the entire second half and I caught it right at the end. So to answer your question is I can't tell you exactly. I just was watching it on the Game Changer a little bit at the end where, it shows the field and where they're at and it kind of moves, it doesn't show you the actual offense and defense. So, that's a little bit my bad, but gosh, man, I thought the game was in hand. I thought that was pretty much it. And then I thought
it was in hand, Chris.
Well, and then I thought, gosh, this is the Chargers. And then I saw the score and it was getting a little closer. And I thought, yeah, I need to get back to a TV and watch the end of this because the Chargers are going to make this into a deal. I still thought the Chargers would pull it out at the end somehow because, they're the Chargers. But, gosh, and they just have a hard time playing with any kind of lead. And I think that's a rare, it's a good problem to have. But some teams have a hard time with that, and it takes a while to learn how to do that. Herbert is a great quarterback. I really like the upside to him is so good, and he is good. And the Chargers have a great nucleus, but they always seem to have a great nucleus, and they get hit with an injury bug or something like that. But this was vintage Chargers to go ahead and have a meltdown like that. I thought it would be the other way. I really thought that Jacksonville would do that, and we would be talking about that this morning, the Chargers with the big comeback, because we've seen them do that all year. We've seen them, and last year too. They get way behind and they make a big charge at the end. Sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't, but they always seem to be playing from behind, and it was weird yesterday.
Why did that feel? That team's always felt like it was coach strong with a really good quarterback that just had a will to win, and they would lose in spite of him.
Yeah, our expectations of the Chargers are always higher than what the Chargers really are.
Yeah,
before the season,
I love Herbert. That's why I put them on that plane. It's Herbert. I love Herbert and Eckler. Eckler's a great running back, and he's got big receivers out there. And then they have a Bosa. Like the formula's there.
Yep. Megan said Dicker missed that kick to push it back 13, which was a gimme. Yeah, that was I couldn't believe it. When I saw him miss that kick, I said, here we go again. And I bet that's what the Chargers said too. I mean, my daughter came in the living room when it was 27-0, and she said the same thing she always says when there's football on. Can I turn this off? And I was like, yeah, let's watch a movie, whatever. It's 27-0. If it gets out of hand, somebody will tell me. And then I checked the score. It's 30-20. I'm like, hang on, kid. We got to fire up the second TV here. Don't get offended. I'm still watching this movie we've seen 75 times. Like, how many times do you need to watch home? It's decent, but it's no Shrek.
The way that the Chargers have done Herbert the first 3 years is looking a lot like Phillip Rivers, right? And Herbert is like 100 times more talented than Phillip Rivers, right? So you're wasting a generational talent here right now if you don't give this kid, and it is not the weapons. You need somebody, you need an Andy Reid or something like that. Right. A coach that's gonna take this kid to the next
Sean
level.
Payton.
You know who you need?
I mean,
you need Frank Reich. That's who you need out there.
This is setting up to be a lot like the Chargers with Rivers. I mean,
like
you said, this is a Rivers clone. Rivers was a talented dude that had a lot of weapons at a lot of different times, and they never
played through pain.
Like
he was a good quarterback.
Yeah, he was.
And a good human being.
Shut up, Herbert. Look at him. He played. Look at him this year against the Kansas City Chiefs when he got knocked the air out of his rib, and he still came back there and brought him back. I mean, they didn't win. But the guy,
Justin Herbert since week 1 is won the corn pop of the week twice.
Well, and let's
Rivers
not,
out there laying
guys,
more pipe than Spectrum Cable.
Here's the thing, guys, is here's why it's so baffling to us as fans, and that's because the Chargers have the most important piece that everybody looks for. They have the most important piece. They just don't have the other stuff. You know, everybody else puts together the other stuff, but they're missing the most important piece. I mean, you're talking about 80-90% of the league literally want that one piece. They're missing one piece.
Herbert.
And that's Herbert. They have it. The Chargers have that one piece. So
yeah, and like Chris said, they got a Bosa, they got a Mike Williams, they got a Keenan Allen, they got an Eckler. Yeah. You need the offensive line could use a little work.
It's just
but a good coach should be able to take that team to a divisional round at least.
Well, there's no
that
way.
Team is better than that team is better than taking the ball away 5 times and losing the damn game.
Absolutely.
Come on.
Well, and there's no
that's like Meghead said. That's hubris.
Shit.
No way that any team should have a 27-point lead, be +5 in the turnover margin, and not win the game
in the playoffs.
It's never happened before last night.
Shout out to Mom. Hey, Mom, how you doing? Good morning.
Top of the morning, Miss Lori.
It's great morning.
And
yep.
Skip.
Hell yes. Hey, Pops.
Best podcast in America. I'll take that.
Oh, here, Meg's gonna just pop the snakes out of the can here. Me and Coach talk about this a lot, actually, in the last 4 or 5 years.
Would the Chiefs even allow them to interview Bieniemy?
Well,
and they're not hiring him. There's something going on with that. He should already have a job.
I
2 years ago, he should have had a job.
Yeah, and it makes me. I mean, honestly, I wonder. You know, how much is Bieniemy to the Chiefs offense and how much of it is Reed? If we were to look at a percentage split, I almost wonder if Bieniemy it's an 80-20 or something like that. Somebody knows stuff that we don't know because he should have gone many moons ago, and he gets mentioned, but he should have been, gosh, that guy should have had a job years ago.
Matt Nagy did him no favors by going into Chicago and being absolute garbage. So people are like,
and that's exactly
maybe
what
he just
think.
happens to be standing next to Andy Reid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say the same thing. Can this be like a Mike McDaniel effect with Bill Belichick? Right? McDaniel's the second time he's going out. We clipped his wins and let him go out on his own, and he hasn't looked great. Right?
Yeah.
So bad. He's stud team. Can he be that?
You're talking about Josh
McDaniels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can it be that?
You're right. You're right. And you know, how would you like to wake up this morning and be a Raiders fan? I mean, you want to talk about where do they go now? I mean, I guess they have a lot of possibilities. I saw a meme the other day that was, you know, who's going to be their next guy, and it had up, I mean, anywhere from Brady and Rodgers to had, you know, like Garoppolo, and it had all of these options that were out there, and only about half of them were decent. The rest of them fell off pretty sharp.
It's going to be about, let's see what happens in March. March is the key month, right? That's when all those rumors are going to start, you know, realizing some of them are not supplied. Some of the, as soon as
everybody's done with the dance, then they start really sit down and have honest talks with themselves about next year is when all the movement starts happening before the draft, because that's when everybody has their capital. I mean, and I think the Packers, I mean, hopefully they learned their dadgum lesson when they set on Love last year before the draft, when his stock was really high. There was a lot of interest, and he had, you know, there was several offers, I believe, on the table, and they turned away from that. And I still don't know why, but you got, you know, the Packers are another one that's really intriguing, because you really got to sit around in a room and look at yourself in the mirror and go, man, we've got to do something different. I would hope. Notoriously, they have that conversation and they go, no, we're good.
You could probably get a little something for Love. Like, he showed something this year.
You're at a fork in the road right now. You've got you either have to stick a flag in the ground and say Rodgers is our guy to the death, or you need to go ahead and move on. It's got to be one or the other. And they were at this fork a year, maybe even 2 years ago, and they made the wrong decision. Love drafting Okay. No, we're not going to.
Heather, good
I'm not
morning.
gonna do it.
Heather says, at what point do they change coaches?
The
Packers? I
drafting
don't
of
know.
Love put
That
them
was-
in that spot.
Exactly. Why? Right? Why?
I'm not going to go there. My blood pressure's on a good level right now, and I don't want to go there. But
Yep,
I'm
I know. I
gonna
was
tell
watching
you that-
Derwin James out there dominating in that visor like nobody's ever looked cooler in a football uniform than Derwin James does right now, and he could have been on our team. But no.
Oh,
Hit that up,
dude.
Rick.
Heavy
list.
Steps is putting his locals link up there. That must be his picks for today.
GameOn.local.
His
Just shout it out.
gameon.locals.com.
Yeah, if you
Get
guys
over
need
there.
if you guys need good bets for this morning, and this is a great place to go. This is a betting community. GameOn.locals.com. Go check out Heavy Steps and Will are over there. We're over there quite a bit. You can follow, trail all of their bets, and you can put your bets in there.
Yep. Yeah, it's like a group chat basically. You know, if you got good ideas, put them in there. If you don't have any good ideas, you can go there and find some.
Yeah, I actually subscribe myself, and I get a lot of info from those guys, man. It's a great place to go and even learn a lot about betting and stuff like that if you're also new to it. So it's a great site, man. Great blog.
Yeah. Pumping
Those are
out
good
emails
dudes.
and they're all good information emails. It's not spam nonsense like you get from a lot of places. Heavy Step says he thinks could be a players not liking Bieniemy issue.
Well,
Yeah, if guys won't follow you, then why hire the guy?
I've heard that too. The only thing is you know, I've also heard that he has a history that keeps him. You know, I don't really buy the history deal because, you know, if you're good enough, someone will overlook the history to give you another shot, and that just doesn't seem to be the case. It must be something, you know, pretty substantial. But I don't know what it's got to be one or the other.
Heather, we're talking about Sean Payton. Is that what you're talking about? That's the he used to coach at New Orleans, and then he retired, but he's coming back.
Oh, he's definitely
He's interested in
Payton's
Well, and
coming back.
and I joked with these guys on our text. You guys, they're not interviewing him; he's interviewing them. He's taking interviews right now. I know for sure he's talked to Denver, which if you're a Bronco fan out there, that is Babe Ruth kind of hire. Not even a home run. That's a Babe Ruth hire. That guy, you talk about a guy that's squared away and does the right things. You know, if you think about when the Saints were a juggernaut, he was the guy pulling the strings. He was the guy. He's the mastermind. He's the Andy Reid. He's the guy that you want to go out and you want to hire, which, you know, I was thinking about this the other day.
You're going to have to give the Saints a first round pick probably too.
Oh, well,
to hire
and that's just it. The Saints are holding on to him. He's not even there. That's how valuable he is. So,
because they know
we want the guy even in retirement. Meghead says Watson demanded Bieniemy, and when they didn't hire him, that's when he demanded the trade. And then the accusations came out. There's going to be a 30 for 30 about that whole situation. The team getting him NDAs, him demanding things, everything falling apart. The evangelical football guy. It's a whole. I mean, that's a reality show over there.
Yep.
Houston's been a reality show since they hired that GM coach.
Well, and hold on just a second now. You know, I mean, I was thinking this is another deal. Houston. You know, Houston's kind of been through the storm, and they've kind of now they're coming on. They've got to. This year is not gloom and doom for Houston. They have a chance to really rebuild and do some great things and move forward. I mean, this is kind of one of those benchmark moments for Houston because, you know, through all the history that has dealt them, they've got a chance to do something really. You know, this year with the hiring of a coach and kind of starting over new and turning the corner from all of the other stuff. Now, I'm not saying they're going to be great next year. I'm just saying they've got a chance to move in the right direction for once. And about the last 3 years headed into the draft, they were locked up. They were what they were going to.
They have a lot of assets. They've
yes.
acquired the last couple of years, including this year with some trades.
Right.
And Coach, add to your whole Sean Payton point. You know, Sean, like you said, he is interviewing the teams because he also wants control as player personnel move and all that kind of stuff. So he wants to be like the GM as well, not just the coach, which I don't blame him. A guy like that can request whatever the hell he wants with his resume.
Well, you're 100% right. And the one thing that makes me feel good about that is he'll never be in Dallas because of that. And that's fine. because as long as he's not, Dallas will be Dallas, and I will make money off their due.
Dallas is going to lose this week, and guess what? Dan Quinn's going to be the new head coach next season.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it.
I hope Jerry knows not to wake up and put too much salt on that McGriddle tomorrow because he might have a heart attack.
Well, and
it is Tom Brady.
If I'm him, I say go ahead and salt it up because you're dancing with the devil. Your days are numbered anyway.
Yeah, he's playing with house money at this point.
That dude is he sold his soul a long time ago.
That's what I told the gentlemen earlier. I mean, a win in the playoffs against Dallas as the underdog, even though they're the division winners, it's another notch in the belt, man. It's another legacy builder. I mean, I'm 45 years old and I'm beating a complete studded team here, you know.
Oh, and that's my prediction is next week. That's exactly what we'll be talking about. We'll be talking about how all the greatness that Brady is, all the Brady lovers, Will and everybody over at Game On will be having their 12 jerseys on, be back up talking about how everybody forgot and slept on the man. Nobody's forgot the guy. No, just go out and do your Brady things this week and fill my wallet and do what you're supposed to do. It's not a huge feat to beat the Cowboys. So
no, they always get beat.
But
this isn't a big deal.
Let's do it.
Yeah. I since the 1900s, I feel like I've been seeing Brady. It feels like
dude, unreal, right? I mean, I'm thinking
the guy is a machine. He just
I've been arguing with people all week about how goddamn good the Cowboys are. Dude, I'm over here like, yo, I've been alive for all of Brady's career. You can't fucking fool me.
Yeah, I was in my freaking 20s, bro, when Brady was a rookie. I mean, it's like I've gone from like changing states, moving, career development, wife, kids, all through Brady's freaking career, man. I'm like, I went from like getting drunk at the bars, right, to like, you know, being a father going to church on Sundays. You know what I mean? It's insane. I mean, it's like I can't fathom that through somebody's career. I mean,
all grown up with Brady. You're right, man, and he just does some really great things. You know, heavy is reiterating my point. 11 picks in 2023, including 2 in the first round, 2/3 in the sixth. They've got a chance right now to really turn the corner. And here's the scary thing. I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there. The Texans are not a horrible football team. They're not. They're not good, but they're not a horrible football team. It's not like you're coming in and the cupboard is just completely bare. They've won some games this year that they shouldn't have won.
Yeah,
they competed this year as bad as their record shows.
Jonah said he fell asleep last night too. Yeah, I think that happened to a lot of us. I'm not sure how many people saw the first 20 points. I think a lot of people probably tuned in towards the end there as word got out on social media. Oh, I can't believe I didn't bet on the Jags. I said to myself, this is the Chargers. Never underestimate their ability to charger this thing.
Yeah.
But 27 points, 5. I assumed Trevor Lawrence was broken mentally.
Dude,
I was wrong.
Did you see him?
I was completely wrong.
When they zoom into the sidelines right during the hole, right before the kick, and when they got that first down 4-1, but ATN just ran it, and you see like Justin Herbert's face, like, oh crap, dude.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. I've been here before.
Well, because he's seen it before. He knows exactly, and they put the load on that kid.
Dude.
You know, great organization to go live at and probably play for and have a career, but gosh. You want to talk about carrying the elephant's head every week because you're playing from behind.
And here's the thing, right? They rely on on his gifts, right? They think that his gifts are going to will them to win over and over again. And like I was telling individuals, listen, a quarterback can have all these great gifts in the world, but if you don't put the right game plan, and I'm going to use the word system because you build around the quarterback's strength, right? And you give them the edge, you give them the opportunity, the tools. It's like anything else in the real world. When you go to work, you got to give your employees the tools they need in order to get the job done, right? You got to do the same crap. You got to have a line. You got to have that accountability. You got to have that management. You got to do that. And if you notice, they don't do that with Herbert. They say like, this guy's so good that he's just going to do it all.
Yeah.
Nobody in the history of this game.
That's how Green Bay's operated for decades.
You're 100% right, and that's what I was going to say. That seems to be a contagious thought process because that's what they all do. They get the one piece and they go, "We've got it, and now all we have to do is keep everybody together, and it'll work out." They don't realize there's a whole nother side of the football. I mean,
put the cape on. Meghead says there was a stat at the beginning of the season. Tom Brady has a better percentage to make the Super Bowl than Steph Curry has to hit a 3-pointer when he releases it. That's nuts.
Wow.
You know, I think Brady's won a Super Bowl every other year since like 2013 or 2014. It's preposterous. Lori's anti-Brady and she's pro-Dak. Oh, that's right. You come from Cowboys fans. I don't know how you recovered from that.
Just that one.
Just that one.
Well,
Dad's a Packers fan.
I'm hoping that. Well, I'm not even gonna say that. It's
Hey.
gonna be a tough day.
This is what happened last night. Jonah texted me at halftime. The Chargers are crushing it. He's like, "Oh, look, you were right. The Chargers were crushing it." And I'm like, "Yeah, but there's a whole nother half of football to play, and the Chargers don't know what they're doing in the second half. And it's happened before. I mean, we've watched this. This is
Yep.
And so, but then I kind of laughed and I went to bed. But I was right.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's another reason why you have to fire the coach, because we all saw it coming. This was not a shock that it happened. It was and it wasn't.
Heavy hits a nail on the head, man. The Chargers are a perfect landing spot for Peyton. They really are.
They're a Super Bowl threat next year.
And they will. If he may be the missing piece. He may be the piece that brings it all together, because they just need somebody that knows how to put that plan together. And there's, I look at it this way too, guys. There's a lot of people out there with a lot of roadmaps, and they come into an interview and they're selling their roadmap to success and their roadmap for the program or whatever. But there's very few that come into an interview and go, guys, I don't need a roadmap. I've been there. I'm going to show you. And there's about 4 or 5 guys that come into an interview and it changes. It's not a, hey,
You're
I want to try
interviewing
this,
them at
I
that
wanna do
point.
this. Yes.
Hey, when Sean walks in, he's interviewing you.
It should be like that. Like I said, the smartest thing anybody could do is put that guy, in charge and go ahead and pay fall on the sword and pay the Saints, because they're going to want what their king's ransom for him, and rightfully so, because they know what they have in him. I mean, they don't want to compete against him.
I had too many Bronco fans this last week talking about their Sean Payton away. No, the Chargers are Sean Payton away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Broncos,
Well,
you need more than Sean Payton.
Well, the Broncos are a hidden gem, and I don't even like the Broncos, but I'll tell you, they've got some weapons there too. I mean,
there's something to be said for having that Walton money behind you too.
Well,
Russell Wilson isn't Justin Herbert though.
No.
Well, he's not, but he has a unique skill set that he brings to the table that you can utilize if you can get it out of him. It's a different, Pete Carroll could get it out of him. I mean, and then when he couldn't anymore, he traded him. Well,
when he's whatever flipped and Russell Wilson became, I'm coachable to I'm the man. Pete Carroll probably thought, yo, that's
well, and honestly, I'll tell you guys, I think that has to do with the guy that either is respected by other people or not.
Maybe
if you bring in a guy with a roadmap that tells you we're going to make 6 lefts and a right up here, and that's what we're going to do, or you bring in a guy that goes, hey, follow me, I know the way.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
I know the detours to take.
Yeah.
I'll teach you to fish. How about that?
Right.
And the way he's talking about these jobs, it's like, they all 3 are viable options. Like, he's the one who decides if he's considering these jobs. Megan says Geno Smith takes Russell's legacy way down. Yeah.
Yes.
And I think it speaks a lot.
Meg, yes.
Yep. And I think it only makes Pete Carroll more of a Hall of Fame coach.
Yeah. And the gum. You better put the gum in the Hall of Fame. That's where it's at. Something's in that gum.
I think this season I think this is the season that puts Mike Tomlin and Pete Carroll in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, they have to. I mean, I think in my book, they're both in. And adding to Sean Payton here before we move on to the next one, think about this, right? Look what he did with Drew Brees. Justin Herbert, it's way better than Drew Brees. Has all
the upside.
Brees never had. All right?
No.
Imagine that, how he will maximize.
Yeah.
Ability.
Yeah, you just go draft depth at the on the offensive line, and then go start playing your defensive pieces.
Well, and I will tell you,
but they got a good defense. They got good people on.
Yeah.
There's talent on that defense.
Just from my standpoint, what the Chargers, I mean, the Chargers are missing the glue guy, and why I say that is your let me think of how to say this. Your Randall Cobb, your Cole Beasley, your guy on 3rd and 5 that you can go to that's automatic. Renfro, These are guys that you have.
Yeah,
to
they don't
on your
have
team.
the Edelman.
They don't have the Wes Welkers in there. You know what I mean?
No, and there's a talent when you're coaching. You gotta have your home run guys. You gotta have your grinded out guys. You know that you can get 3 yards in a cloud of dust. But you also have to have these glue guys where when the chips start falling where they may, you got to be able to look at this guy and go, this guy's going to get us a 4-yard slant completion, and we know it. We know
86% of the time.
Yeah,
it happens. Yeah,
right.
That's
and,
the guy
and they don't have it.
that his head's gonna get taken off down the middle,
Yep.
5 yards, right?
Yep.
But he's gonna hold on to that ball.
Yep.
He's gonna.
And you got to go out and find that guy because he's a rare quality. He's a rare quality. That's why a guy like Cole Beasley made a career doing it. Edelman, Cole Beasley. I'll even go back a step further and go
Cobb.
No, you gotta go to the 90s at the Broncos. I can't think of his name, man.
McCaffrey.
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 I watched him get his leg pretty much pulled out of socket on a slant on Monday Night Football one night. Yeah, pretty much ended his career. He was never the same. But even Wes Welker. These are guys that you've got to go and find, and they're out
Oklahoma
there.
City kid,
but they're rare. They're rare.
Yep.
That's what
you got to look for the ones with the
don't
lunch
have
pails.
those guys. Chargers have home run threats and they have grinded out dudes, but they don't have any middlemen. And you got to have it all. If you're going to make a deep run, you got to have it all.
Got to have those intangibles. Megan said Pete made them the way Andy Reid made McNabb. Vic's second tour, Mahomes, Nick Foles. Yeah, Kevin Cobb. I mean, didn't Kevin Cobb throw like 24 touchdowns and 2 picks or something one year? It was nuts. I mean, stuff like that is coaching. Chargers can afford to give up the first round.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
they can. They have their quarterback.
What are they going to do with it
Once
anyway?
you have your quarterback, you can go get something bigger.
Listen, for Sean Payton, they have to give up their firstborn. Okay, if they want to make sure they succeed for the next 10 years, if they want to be considering that Ancelano teams.
Well, and you're 100% right. It's not about winning it one year.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody, you can go out and buy yourself a win. The Rams showed us that.
Exactly.
But they mortgaged the entire franchise.
They mortgaged their franchise and they went out and bought a Super Bowl, and they'll be celebrating those Super Bowl shirts 6 years from now when they're still trying to figure out how to get back there. What you want to put together is a squad like a Kansas City. You want to put together a squad that can go multiple years at the top.
New England did it.
Yep.
New England did it with
been a master
with no
at it
home run threats and only mid guys.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Wasn't Deion Branch a Super Bowl MVP?
Well, and you can turn those middle guys into home run hitters, but you can't turn a home run hitter into a middle guy. There's a difference.
Some guys just don't like to go across the middle, and
Right.
they're never going to go across the middle.
Right.
Think
And
about
then you got to find the little guys that are scrappy. That their only way in the NFL is if they go across the middle, and so they just do it.
I mean, you know how many concussions Wes Welker probably has in his career?
Oh, man.
All of them.
Diagnosed. I mean, there's a reason.
Welker, Edelman, all of them.
All those guys, when you think about that, right? It's like back then it was not as taboo as it is now. Thank you, Tua, and other people. So it's like those guys. That was what they got paid for. And Welker was the best one out of all of them because he actually, broke reception records and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? When he went to England. So
that's what we were so lucky with Adams because Adams is one of the weird guys that can do it all.
Yep.
Well, and that is right. Adams is the unicorn. Adams is the guy that will go across and get that, and it'll also burn you on the post.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That guy's
so always catch it every time, no matter what.
Well, and here's the thing with Adams. You guys remember when Devontae Adams came into the league? He had a little bit of a taboo about he had a little bit of a taboo his first couple of seasons about holding on to the ball. He had the drops a little bit too, and everybody wondered, hey, is this guy going to develop into that elite guy that can catch everything? Lazard was the same way. He was dropping everything that came to him for a while, and that seems to happen in the first year. The difference is that Adams
UDFA mindset.
He continued to get better every year, leaps and bounds better. He would double his greatness every year until he became the guy.
Look what he did this year with that and that team.
Yeah.
I mean, he was insanely good again with a lesser quarterback. I don't care what you have to say about Rodgers.
Oh, yeah.
this year and like that, but he's not. Carr's not better than Rodgers, and
He put up numbers with Tyler, or what was that kid's name? Brett Hundley.
Brett Hundley,
I mean, he was putting up numbers with him. Yeah, I mean, Adams, his first couple of seasons, I used to call him Devontae pass intended for Adams because he dropped everything, and it was like, get this kid off the team. Holy
but it
shit.
went away. It got drastically better every year.
Yeah, something happened, and he focused up.
I think it's one of those dudes that if you look at him, I don't think this guy goes into the off season and goes to the Bahamas for 3 months and drinks margaritas, right? While drinking, while eating with that. I think this guy works out every single day. He is, he's taking his rest, but he's watching film. He seems like that type of guy, that I'm all about the game. I want my respect. He's getting paid, but I think a lot of it is the accolades of being the best in the game. Him and Jefferson, I think, go at it each year. Who's the best wide receiver in the league? You know what I mean? That kind of status.
What do you think we see out of Justin Jefferson today versus the New York Giants? What are his last? I'm going to look at his last couple games. I don't think he's been doing a whole lot.
What?
I feel like he's due for one of those 152 touchdown games.
If he gets, I don't care if he gets 200 as long as the Giants win the game. I think what we're going to try to do is to minimize and control that game clock as much as we can, time of possession. And that's the only way you'll be able to keep that offense at bay. That's what I'm thinking my Giants are going to do today. I think it's going to be a lot of running the football, hitting whatever wide receivers we have, which is none.
Ricky.
Small play, so,
Ricky James.
Richie James.
Richie, not Ricky. Sorry. See, don't even know their names.
Well, he needs to catch a few more footballs and we'll get it right. Yeah.
Isaiah Hodgins, right? Who the hell is this guy, right?
I have no idea.
He caught a football the other day in the last game, right? The guy that we paid $60 million for. So I don't know, man. That goofy bastard Daniel Jones, man. I'm hoping he just, put his little pullover sweater like Eli and gives us some of those Eli moments, baby. Because this is what Eli lived for. We could screw it up in the season, but I'm going to make that throw to Manningham or Cruz or oh my God, Plaxico Burress and at the right place at the right time, and that defense is going to carry us.
Hey, real quick, Meg is right. The Niners have been doing it with different coaches. QBs since Harbaugh, and then he says sometimes it's the organization, and coach is big on that. There's a few organizations that are just going to be bad. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, like you can give these teams all the picks, like the Bears. You can give them all the picks.
The Browns.
Look what they did the last time they had high picks. Like you can't.
The Browns.
If your building materials are garbage, then the house is going to be garbage.
Browns, what do you think, Coach? Yeah.
Well, and you go back. I'm going to take you guys back in history a little bit when the Chiefs won 3 games. Let's talk about that. It's been a while since the Chiefs have went through a season like that. The Chiefs won 3 games, and my hat's off to the Hunt family or whoever was running the show up there because they were practically giving away season tickets at Arrowhead. They won 3 games that year. It was the year before they brought in Reed. It was a dumpster fire, and they literally cleaned house. They brought in a good nucleus. They started with, and his name, I can't think of it. They started with right before they hired Reed. They started with the GM, and he went from there. He went to Cleveland, and he was doing some great things at Cleveland when they had it all going their way too, and then he left there. I'm trying to think of his name. But
he worked for the Packers too at one point.
Yes, he did. He came from Green Bay, and Green Bay was on the highest of high at the time. They hired him away from them, and he went in and he's the one that was retired or that he was the one that brought in pretty much Reed, and they did it the right way. And some of these organizations, they don't get that. They don't come in and they just try to plug in and patch the dam. There's no let's start from the foundation up. And I'll think of his name here in a minute. I don't have my phone or I'd find it.
Oh, Ken Dorsey?
No, it wasn't Dorsey.
Wasn't Dorsey. Okay. Well, I'm at a loss then.
Was it? It says Kansas City Chiefs Clark Hunt redeemed himself by hiring of Reed and Dorsey when Kansas City Chiefs chairman and CEO Clark Hunt hired
what's Dorsey's first name?
Oh, Pioli. Scott Pioli.
Ken Dorsey,
and
right?
it says CEO Clark Hunt hired Scott Pioli as the general manager 4 years ago. It was acknowledged as keen move on Hunt's part. Fast forward to 2012 season. He hires
maybe it is
Dorsey and Reed.
I could see his face, but I can't remember his name. That's how the world works after you get to be my age. Anyhow.
Right behind you, man. My memory's not the same.
Yeah. Anyhow, they all don't do that. They all take their little pieces and they go, well, if we just plug this in and we plug this in, we've got it. Instead of, hey, let's roll out this and let's do it the right way. Let's go out and let's put people in positions to make moves. And it's like I said, hey, it's really easy from my living room. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Heavy Step says he's in on Jefferson receiving yards up to 149.5. Ooh, it looks like the books are expecting a big game from him too. It's set at 98. You can get plus 100 on 108, 118, plus 120, 128, plus 146, 148. Like he's talking about plus 270. That's not bad. I mean, how else are they going to attack this Giants team? And Jefferson has had a couple games under 30 yards after 3 in a row over 100. Just feels like he's about to break out for one of these multi-touchdown 150 yarders. But I also think Daniel Jones is going to throw it 42 times again like he did last time. And this is going to be a shootout possibly.
Kevin Valentine, I have a new listener.
New guy. We need a new person sound of some kind.
Yeah.
We need a Mike Leach cowbell. That's what we need right here on the table.
Pay that man his money.
I like it. There it is.
There you go.
It is.
What to do, baby? Sean Payton and Herbert need it. Mike Williams will have a career year. Hey, I agree. And I'm the guy that drafts him religiously in fantasy because I love Mike Williams, and it's always going to be his year.
Yep. And if you noticed 7'12" Donald Parham out there last night, man, Sean Payton would do some amazing things with him, I think.
Oh, Kevin got my back. It was John.
It was John Dorsey.
John Dorsey,
the quarterback.
Oh, would we say Ken Dorsey? Mega, it's like
the other was Ken Dorsey.
Taking and
ending. When he said Ken Dorsey, I was like, that's not it. Dorsey sounds right, but Ken, that wasn't his name. And then I was thinking Glenn. No,
I think Dorsey was in high school at that time. Ken Dorsey.
No, he's 100% right. It was John Dorsey. And they brought him in, and he was the architect that put that together. And if you'll remember right, and now let me tell you, I can't remember what I ate yesterday, but I can tell you about John Dorsey 10, 15 years ago. So that's what getting old gets you. But they took him to Cleveland, and he was putting together something really special at Cleveland. And something happened, and he hit the eject button. He said, "Man, I'm out," and just up and left one year, and that was it, and it just started coming apart at the seams. There's guys that can see it. They can see it. They have the vision, and then there's other guys that are just they're just patching the dam.
Colts taking and ending Hall of Fame quarterbacks lately.
I mean, who knows what Irsay's doing? Irsay's partying with rock stars all the time, buying rare Jimi Hendrix guitars. He's doing exactly what I would do if I had his money. So I can't fault him for it, but it's not the best way to run an organization.
Hey, Meghead, Eric was all over this yesterday on our show about, well, go ahead.
The Saquon screen passes. Saquon's receiving yards are set incredibly low. It's like 22.5.
I think he's going to beat that today.
Yeah, you can get plus 980 or plus 850, something like that on 58 receiving yards. I mean, you could do that in one play.
Let me ask you guys.
Ken Dorsey. That's where I screwed that up.
There's why it was in my head. Yep. I'm the one that fed Chris the name Ken.
That's how I know him also.
I bet you could go trade that. I wonder if the Bears will deal that pick.
I think they are.
They should trade that pick and then possibly,
I don't like Bryce Young, but
he's little. I'm over the little quarterbacks, dude. Give me Levis or who's the other kid? They're both 6'3".
The kid from Tennessee is pretty,
Yeah, give me a tall dude. I don't want Alabama quarterbacks historically not good. I mean,
I got a question.
Usually Mac Jones, they're rarely Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, yeah, you're right. He's tall. He's the tallest one, and Mac Jones kind of like with that frame build. So
let me ask you guys a question. What are the odds the Vikings do Vikings things today and go ahead and just lay an egg?
86.7%.
Pretty good.
This is the first time they've faced the Giants in the playoffs since the Giants beat them 41-0 in the championship round, was it?
Yep. Wow.
Yeah, and they were 15-1 with Culpepper. They were a wagon that year.
They will walk into a fight and take one right to the choppers and be done. I mean, they will take a haymaker in the first quarter, and that will be it. I mean, the Vikings do some Vikings. They are very Thunderbolt-like.
Primetime Kirk. Yeah, I mean,
well,
like
Kevin knows. Kevin already knows. Like, let's make the bets.
Yep. Like those videos you see of two people arguing outside of a bar, and then all of a sudden one guy, one shot right on the button on the ground. That is very. I mean,
we can see that
screen pass.
Yeah, New York is capable.
Oh, here comes Angela from the balcony. I knew that would wake her up. I knew it would be a matter of seconds before Angela was on there telling me to shut up. But
she hears when we start talking bad about the Vikings, she just hears the
it's like a bell.
Like, I need to get online and defend my boys.
I got to get on there, circle the wagons.
Think about that, right? Captain Kirk is no different than Dak Prescott. 1-3 in the playoffs and folds like a freaking accordion in the playoffs. My team is gonna they gotta take them out tonight. It's gonna be ugly and it's gonna be hardful. We already played them once. Remember, we played them once, so we got a nice taste of what we need to adjust and beat them this time. So I'm confident my Giants should be competitive.
So you're planting a flag in the ground and going one and done for the Vikings.
Damn right.
Yeah, that's the playbook. One and done. Vikings, one and done. Cowboys. This story has been written.
Even
so,
if
let me tell you something though. You don't sleep on
hot takes on Wake and Ray.
This isn't a hot take. If you've been alive for the last 46 years and you watch the Giants can have the ugliest regular season, but don't let them in there. Don't let them in there.
But listen, I mean, what's
Saquon
the line?
May
What's
have
the
a
line
day.
on the game today? What's the line on that Giants and Vikings game?
3.5, right? Let's say
3.5.
Three.
Three.
Giants plus 130. I got a Jags Giants money line parlay that is still alive.
Nice.
I'm putting together a Justin Jefferson.
Angela, right now, her head is exploding, and whoever is in front of her while she's working or whatever is not getting much attention. I can tell you, she's probably worked up.
Man, I am ready to go, man. I'm gonna miss half the game because I'm going to church tonight instead of this morning. So, but it doesn't matter. As soon as I'm done, I'm gonna be back here, like in front of that TV, to catch the second half.
The second half is what's gonna matter. Same with
and you hit the nail on the head just right. If the Giants want to win that game, it's got to be the ugliest. It's got to be a muck fest. I'm talking run off tackle, run up the middle,
Muddy.
Clock, and just ugly that up. Play defense and run the ball. That's the two.
Is it in Minnesota? Is it in the dome? It's hard. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. It is hard in the NFL to beat a team twice in a row because once you have film, it's different.
And look,
Giants are 3-0 in rematches this year. Daboll, if you take out the Kansas City games, he's 10-1 in rematches the last 4 years.
When I look at
Jesus,
Daboll, he reminds me a lot of that Tom Coughlin kind of coach, right? You know, he's a little more of the new age, player coach kind of guy. But there's a structure in place, right? That they just keep doing over and over again to win the game. They know their identity. Run the ball, play action with Danny Dimes, hit your whatever receivers are available. Nothing risky. It's like
Bill Belichick.
Just duct tape it together, man.
And then Danny Dimes, look, listen, dude, you could also got some mobility. So look, Daniel Jones has had multiple games with 2 touchdowns where goal line,
he ran in,
play action, bootleg, boom, run it in, and he'll get you. He rushed for 700 and something yards. I look at a guy like that, and you tell me, that guy can rush for 700 yards. I'm like, get the hell out of here, bro. I mean, that guy can
look at that.
So it's like,
Meghead says Vikings best team got dirty birded. They never recovered. Well, that's true.
That'll do it.
Oh, Angela's about right.
Here, Angela, this will make you happy. I just bet on Jefferson to have 128 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Kevin says, I low-key think Cowboys making a run. I don't know why.
Well,
because they don't know why.
Will.
They're due. So I mean,
I'm going to high-key disagree with you there, Kevin, wholeheartedly. So,
at the pay.
But listen. I will say, I like Tampa Bay. I like Tampa Bay better. I like Tampa Bay's chances better today than I like the Giants' chances. I do think that, I think that the Vikings do Vikings things. I just don't think this is the week. And I don't know that the Giants have enough horses, even if in a close game. I don't know if they have enough horses to stay with them, especially if it comes to the end and there has to be some scoring taking place. I just look at the Giants roster and I think outside of Barkley, who are we going to get to turn to in the huddle?
That doesn't matter. Hey, can they get to Kirk Cousins?
I think we can. If
they can get to Kirk Cousins early, Kirk Cousins will fold. He will turn in his Cole's cash.
But I will tell you this: the Vikings have other weapons. It's not built around Cousins.
Damn Hawkinson. When they got Hawkinson, that team changed.
I was just gonna say,
golly,
there's your 3rd and 5 guy. Yeah. You've got a 3rd and 5 guy that will go across the middle and get you that first down. When I look at the Giants roster, the Giants barely have a 2nd and 10 guy.
No, we don't.
They don't have a guy. There is no guy.
The guy is Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones. That's your offense, and that's because the rush.
Put in the option.
That's what they're going to do. But it's one of those things that I think our defense has come up really good as of late. Right in the last 4 games, I think we got some really decent pressure up the middle. And I think that's what we're probably gonna bank on, right? We're gonna get to Kirk Cousins to make some mistakes because Kirk does make mistakes.
Kirk will make some mistakes. The thing that really helps him is it's at home, so that does help him a little. I just think I don't know that they're gonna have a complete meltdown today. Now,
I thought it was gonna happen, but
it's gonna happen.
Hey, Coach, the Giants are the only team, if they came to Green Bay and said, we'll trade you our complete receiver core for your complete receiver core, I would say no. One of the only teams in the NFL that I would not swap receiver cores with.
It's bad. We have nobody.
It's
nobody.
Yeah, I mean, you got grocery baggers down there.
I'm surprised they didn't hold
Sterling
open
Shepard
tryouts.
No, Sterling Shepard's been out all year. So this is who our main guys have been. Slayton, who he's like a number 3 or number 4 in the regular team, right?
Darius Slayton,
Ricky James, Isaiah Hodgins,
Ricky.
Kenny Golladay finally caught a touchdown in the first time.
No names. Golladay.
Golladay was the guy, and this is the thing. That's why they signed Golladay. He's your 50-50 guy, right? He's the guy that's supposed to go out there, throw it up there, give Daniel Jones some help.
Right. Boom. Allegedly.
Yeah, exactly. So. Really, yes, you're right. The odds are really definitely stacked against the Giants, but I mean, I don't know, man. It's one of those things that maybe my fandom is taking over my.
Let it take over.
Well, and I look at Vegas. I look at Vegas the same. Vegas doesn't know either. They don't know what Vikings you're going to get this week. That's why that line's only at 3 at home. That's why. Because they're not sure. They're not sure.
Because Kevin's saying it right now. Because the Giants win games. It's just the facts. They win in the playoffs.
Kenny Golladay, he played football last week, right?
Dude, he got a touchdown.
You can't bet on him to do anything today. There's no
touchdown. I mean,
look at Jonah says it's going to be the Vikings and Cowboys next week.
I'll take your money.
I'll take your money. Yeah.
Oh man, I'll be hoping for a draw.
Kevin, Coach is going to have words for you. Yeah, I mean the Cowboys are not our favorite team on the show.
I'll be hoping for a draw off that play. I will most likely take the Giants. Says Heavy Steps. Good. I feel good.
I feel really good about all my arguing now that Heavy said. Thank you, Heavy.
Heavy's my boy, dude.
Be on the same side as him. Kevin O'Connell's staff is on top of what needs to be done.
Oh wow!
The Vikings think have been winning.
Ugly, but winning. They have been winning. I mean, you're right, Angela. This is the best Vikings team I've seen in a long time.
Angela, I'm just going to tell you got to put the trowel down and quit building the monuments before they happen, because I got to remind you, the Vikings historically are not doing. They're not the team you think they are. They're not.
So quit asking.
This is a team, they do it every year, and every year we get Vikings fans at this time going, we're going to make a deep run. Same with the Cowboys. You guys, these are not the droids you're looking for.
Go play intramurals, brother. Go play intramurals.
And next week when I'm right, I want you on this show telling me, Coach, you were right. And I will gladly come on here and say, listen, I was wrong. They're making a deep run, but I'm telling you that a deep run is more than 1 week, people.
Yeah,
the playoffs aren't one and done.
That's the Cowboys.
You got to win a few of them in a row.
Don't sleep on Kenny Golladay. See that catch last week? Kevin knows what he's talking about.
That's what they signed Kenny Golladay for, to do that kind of crap. Go up there, man. Make a catch in the end zone, the back of the end zone, 50. That's why they freaking give him so much money for somebody that wasn't, that relevant. I mean, because the guy has skills. I just don't know where the hell he disappeared. I mean, I think it's been the whole coaching change, so.
Whoever David S. is 100% right. There's no one and I've said this for a couple of weeks now. There's nobody that wants the animal that is the 49ers right now. No one. Even the
Any
Eagles. I'm
doubts
going to
I
tell you
had
right
were
now,
put to bed
after
last
seeing
night.
them last night,
My gosh.
I do believe that they have everything the Eagles want and then some.
They're the NFC Chiefs.
Dude.
I can tell you the 49ers are for real. And the Purdy kid, for real.
Dude, that was insane last night. And and like you said, Coach, they showed. We went down, we punched them in the mouth, they came back at us, and then you know what we did? We took them down again.
Found a different gear.
Down.
Yep.
You know, that is Super Bowl winning type of football right there.
Yeah, you have to have a different gear in playoff time, and they showed you their different gear yesterday.
I heard too many people last week say, well, I mean, but if it wasn't Brock Purdy, if Garoppolo could play. And I was like, I've been watching this kid for 4 years before he even went to the NFL. Me and Coach watched this kid every single year, and you never wanted to play him. You didn't want any part of Brock Purdy in college.
This is why I love the Purdy kid, because in an offense, he hasn't been in the league long enough to look at a coach and go, yeah, I don't like that. I'm not doing that. He's not that guy. He's the guy that goes, okay, tell me what you want me to do. Okay, man, you're driving the bus here. I'm going to do exactly what you tell me, which is rare.
Coachable.
Let me tell you something. And that's the offense for a kid like him.
Perfect. You're exactly right.
All right. Look what Debo's finally healthy. That's what Debo does.
Oh, he looked good yesterday. He had a smile.
That's what McCaffrey does.
Adding McCaffrey to that and Garoppolo getting hurt. You don't ever want to say that was I don't wish that on anybody, but I'm telling you right now, the stars have aligned perfectly for the 49ers, and the 49ers are built to not only make a deep run, the 49ers are built to win it all right now.
Yeah. When I saw Debo with that visor on before the game, I said, this kid's going to have 100 yards tonight.
It's unreal. Like that team, that Christian McCaffrey trade has to be considered the trade of the year.
Absolutely.
The trade of the century if they win that.
Yeah, big deal.
Well, and the only team in the NFC that has anything for them is the Eagles. Let's just go ahead and play it next week and be done with it. The rest of them can buy for second.
They'll be able to take the Eagles because Jalen has not looked good after being hurt. And
they're
not going to help them.
The Rams right now,
they're not the same team they were early in the
year. They're not. And one thing about adding to Brock, right? That game last night was the game that everybody was expecting, right? Like, okay, now he's finally gonna show his 6th round. The reason why he was drafted for, in the 6th round, he was mystery runner, whatever the case may be. We're finally gonna see this because they're gonna lose. It's gonna be too much pressure. My gosh.
No, won easily. Yeah.
He's got the dudes around him that will calm him down. Like he's got veterans around him, and I mean Christian McCaffrey's a veteran.
Their game plan their game plan isn't Brock Purdy go win us the game. They don't need that.
Brock Purdy just don't lose us the game.
When you have built an offense where your guy can go in and literally be a game manager and still be a hero, that's what you want. That's what you want.
That's what Shanahan did it.
So what do you do if you go to the Super Bowl with this kid and lose to the Chiefs, or you go to the Super Bowl and you win with this kid? What do you do next year with your now healthy quarterback who you paid like 3 first-round picks for? What becomes of Trey Lance?
You got to go get your 3 picks back.
I would.
He's still worth something.
Well,
right?
You still got equity in him because there's enough. There's a
coach somewhere that says I can turn him.
There's the Houston Texans who thinks that they can make him their piece. And that's what you have to sell to him. That's what you have to sell to his agent, and that's what you have to sell to the front office has to sell to everybody else in the organization. Is guys.
And the 49ers have an excellent front office.
We didn't lose our equity. We didn't lose our equity. We still have our commodity here. We're just going to sell it and package it in a different way and send it to somebody who thinks it's valuable, like we did. And we stumbled across this deal. It's the spoil of riches. When you stumble across something, a hidden gem in the 6th round that you didn't know was going to be great. Now all of a sudden you've got something, and you take that equity and you spin it into capital.
Or they blow us away, and they love fucking Lance.
It's when
they spin Purdy away.
It's when you buy a foreclosure in a very rich neighborhood. For a middle class, and all of a sudden you have some cash to invest in it, and now it's worth
it's a house flip. That's what it is. It's a house swap.
Exactly.
You're flipping houses at this point.
And adding to your point there, Coach, if Sam Darnold can get traded to a team and be the starting quarterback, after
multiple times,
couple of years, exactly with the Jets, Trey Lance can find a home because he's way more talented than Darnold.
Well, and if you don't think that that's going on in every team in the league, I give you Baker Mayfield. The Rams are doing it right now. They're putting window shutters on this old jalopy, and they're talking about, hey, move in. This is an up-and-coming neighborhood when we all know that your hubcaps are getting stolen in the driveway.
You're foreclosing. We know it.
And
it'll be up for auction for $10 tomorrow.
The Rams
you'll buy Baker. Baker's going somewhere else.
Yeah. Hey, Mom. Yeah, Mom says she hopes that you're wrong about her Cowboy. Coach is wrong a lot, so you have that going for you.
I am wrong occasionally.
If they get to the Super Bowl, Jimmy should be healthy at that point. That'll be fun for them.
I'm way behind. I'm way behind. Let's hit some of these comments real quick.
All right. Heavy Step says he has $5 free daily fantasy play on DK. Can you guys help build my lineup? Sure.
Yeah.
What are you looking for? You want to do I'm assuming you're gonna go tournaments, right?
Start out Daniel Jones, Isaiah Hodgins stack, right?
Yeah, no.
Hang on. We'll come back to that. Let's get through some of these comments, though. Okay.
Right.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
Eric's gonna do them rapid fire.
Hey, all of us give him a lineup. Let's give him 3 lineups, all right?
Angela says we didn't have O'Connell before. Did you guys not see that part? Yes, I've seen O'Connell win many, many games by 1 score. Megan says the Vikings or Giants beat either the Niners or Eagles. No. This is just which lamb is going to the slaughter.
Classic lineup. We're gonna put it together, Heavy.
Yep. Kevin says San Francisco's only weakness is secondary, but it's hidden by now. Little time the QB has to throw it. But DK ate yesterday. Yes, he did. Imagine a team like Cincinnati with those wide receivers. Yeah.
That's a great point, Kevin.
Well,
I mean,
let me remind you, Kevin, by the time that we get to see that, it's a thing called the Super Bowl. So there's nobody in the NFC that brings that threat.
Yeah. Shanahan schemes so well, guys are wide open all the time. Yeah, did you see Debo running wide open down the middle of the field and Purdy threw it to the end zone like that? That's there all the time. David S. says Brock Purdy's a big reason they're here. He's not the greatest confidence builder for a young QB a team could have. CMC is definitely, he's the best safety net. I mean, look around, he's got Kittle. He's got Kittle. He can hit for 12 yards at any time. Yeah, Purdy.
There's hidden weapons there that you forget about. That's how deep they are.
Again, I'm going to tell you guys, I watched this kid a lot in college. Almost every game he played.
Yeah, he was good.
He's a phenomenal quarterback in college, and he was built to be an excellent game manager, and he can make a throw when he needs to. But you have CMC.
He did it without a ton of tools at Iowa State too.
Absolutely, yeah. And he upset a lot of teams that were going to the fucking national. Anyways, the snake. He made the snake pit names Iowa, and. This is just not a guy you want to see because CMC. You want to focus on CMC. They have a lot of weapons. Debo Samuel is a 2-car garage receiver. Just get it up by him, and he'll get it.
Well, and I see on here, Megan, a lot of people beating the drum of Cincinnati, and I love Joe. I love Joey football. I love that guy. That guy can play, but I don't think that Cincinnati is as a complete team as the Bills or the Chiefs are. The Bills and the Chiefs, to me, it's a 2-horse race. Cincinnati's closer behind than everybody else, but I don't like Cincinnati in the long haul. And I know last year, but I do think that there was a little bit of a honeymoon period there. And I don't think that, like I said, I think the Bills and the Chiefs are the top 2 teams in the AFC. And then when you go over to the NFC, I mean, pretty much the 49ers are the ones that they seem to be the one that's rising to the top at the right time. We'll see the Eagles, but the Eagles seem to be going a different direction. They seem to have peaked too early.
Yeah, they're they lose 2 in a row going into the playoffs, so that's not ideal. You kind of want to be hot rolling into the playoffs.
Schedule. They have a really decent schedule, and don't get me wrong, they beat the teams that they needed to beat. And I think if it wasn't for Jalen Hurts getting injured, you probably would have won another game. They would have still losing. What are they lost 3? They lost 3 games this season.
Yeah,
probably would have lost only 2. Realistically, but I think they do have a really talented team. AJ Brown and Devontae Smith are probably top duo wide receivers out in the league. I mean, good running game this season. Like I mentioned earlier, their running back went over 1,000 rushing yards for the first time since 2014. I forget who. I think Shady McCoy was the last one who did it. And then you had a wide receiver, which Sean Jackson was the last one to win over 1,000 yards with this team. So there was a lot of good things happening for Philly. But I don't think they're as good as as the 49ers. Absolutely.
Mason's here. Top of the morning, Mason. He called us beautiful people. I don't know about all that. Angel says the Niners are scary good and Purdy pounding his chest and screaming like Wolverine. He's in it to win it.
Yeah.
The 2019 San Francisco. Yeah. That draft was incredible. They nailed it. And they got healthy at the right time. Megan said you don't need value in the first round if you landed in the sixth.
Yeah, ask Bill Belichick.
How did a kid who played all 4 years last to the last pick?
Trey Lance is a poor man's Justin Fields. Absolutely.
Yeah, he is.
I've never been
probably
never been a Jimmy denier.
I don't know about that, but
Megan, Cincy's line is suspect to normal D. That's right. Brees Hall at Iowa State was pretty good tool. Yeah.
Brees Hall was good, but name me a receiver on that team.
Yeah,
Brees Hall was quite good at Iowa State.
Since he has
O-line issues. They do. They lost both tackles now. Lyle Collins out for the year, and now they lost Alex Kappa. So they could give up some sacks. I mean, that's the way to beat them. Megan said if you run a team on a rookie QB contract from the last pick, you have a ton of free money. That's the best way to do it.
And that's the recipe. I mean, you want to sign you want to get a big quarterback on your rookie contract, and then you're able to go out and do it. You're exactly right. That's the blueprint. That's how Kansas City got to where they were. They hit with Mahomes and he was on the rookie deal. They could go and install some pieces, and then you hope that you can maintain that. I mean, that's kind of what teams are doing, and you're exactly right. That's the recipe.
Niners could be 17-0 next year. I mean, that's hard to do in the NFL.
That'll be a prop bet that's available for sure.
Yep. We like Cincy against the Ravens for sure, Jonah.
Yep. You feel like Josh Allen is healthy. That elbow talk has fallen off, but hasn't been the same for a while. He was chucking it last week. I think the elbow is good. Now is his foot okay? I guess
they're gonna be okay when it comes time. When it comes time to then they get a week rest, so they're going to be okay. I think I want to talk about one thing too. Is there a worse position guy in the league than Lamar right now? After this, I mean, he looked like a genius in week 10, and now you want to talk about the ebb and flow of the season. Now he looks like a buffoon because he was negotiating his own. He's doing his own thing. And now, gosh, the Ravens. Wow.
Yeah. They just paid Roquan Smith, who's representing himself. Somehow he got $100 million and yet Lamar can't. I think his camp thinks sitting out the playoffs and watching the Ravens get killed will raise his value. I'm not sure. Zach Kurtz says, what's up? Is that a new guy?
Hey, that's JT's boy.
JT's guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What up, Zach?
Love all the new blood.
The mix and unders with Cincinnati O-line issues.
For sure.
I honestly think that somebody's going to pay Lamar Jackson what he's looking for, regardless of the season.
Well, we said this last year about Cincy. We talked about how terrible their O-line was all through the playoffs, and they just kept winning. It's wild to me. I don't know.
Here's the wild thing.
I'm with Meg on this. Allen's bonehead is the issue, and let me tell you, he turns the ball over at some inopportune times.
Yeah,
he's done that a lot in his career.
No, absolutely. But the thing about Cincy is I think it's the factor of the Joe Burrow factor, right? He has it when he comes. He's not.
You're right.
He's not the best quarterback in the league, but he does have that. Yeah. I'm going to take you. I'm going to put you on my back, and I'm going to perform when I need to. That's the difference. He has.
When the lights are the brightest, that's the guy.
You're right. Walked in.
There's only a few of those.
It is exactly
one of them. Natural, right, Coach? How do you see that? Like, not everybody has that, right, Coach?
Not everybody does have it, and we look at some really good quarterbacks, but
does that show up in high school?
Those are elite ones. I don't know. I mean, some people are just natural gamers. Some people are just natural. Like I said, when the lights come on, they perform, and that's a different attribute.
Have you seen that when you're coaching at your level, where you're like,
yes.
Oh, this kid's different,
yes,
than the rest of the kids?
Well, and the crazy thing about it is, you've seen some that will never show it until that time happens, and then they show it, and you're like, where's this guy been? Because, we've been practicing for months and never seen that. Never seen that gear.
No, yeah, he's one of the few that, again, it doesn't matter. He might go against the best. He's shown it when he goes against Kansas City, right?
You're right. I mean, we can make a short list real quick. I mean, I think Rodgers has that intangible when the lights are bright and the game's on the line. Burrow's another one. I would say
Mahomes is like the ultimate. He has the skill and
Mahomes
that as well.
Mahomes definitely has it. You're
the
right.
Brady factor. Let's say the Brady factor, because Brady is nowhere near as talented as much of these quarterbacks. But again, he has that it when it counts. And you said when the shine the light, the brightest, the light.
Right. Is Heavy calling for a Ravens win?
He's got another 5-unit Baltimore play for you, Coach.
Oh my. Ooh. Oh, I don't know if my heart or my wallet can take another 5-play Heavy win.
Take the spread and the under. Maybe we do that. I'm gonna try it because if
okay.
Heavy,
right. What is the line on that game? Heavy's got me intrigued.
23.
What?
I'm just kidding.
No, it's 10. Bengals -9.
Oh, I'm looking.
Not even getting 10.
I got 10 on Bet US.
Ooh, that's a lot of points in a playoff game.
Yeah, I mean
40.5. The over on the right.
40.5.
40.5. Yep.
He's saying the under and take Baltimore plus the 9.
Yep. He's anticipating the Cincinnati line being a problem and this being an ugly, grinded out game.
All right, Heavy. I'm in.
Oof.
I'm in.
He's in.
You got
him.
You got
Coach
me.
Is in.
You know what? I will go ahead and I'm going with you. The offensive line will, eventually that's got to catch up with them in a muck game, a grinded out game, because that's the only way Baltimore's going to keep it close. I'm in.
I'm also going to take the Giants, the points. I'm going to take the Giants and add it to that and make it a three-legged one. I'm going crazy.
So we'll go three-legged gazelle here. We're gonna go with the three-legged gazelle against the tiger here and we're gonna go Giants +3.
Yep, that's what I got here. Let's see, Giants +3, and then that parlay, the under and the points for the Ravens.
Putting them together. I'm putting them together, and I'm hitting a home run. I'm just calling my shot.
You're gonna get about 4-1 on that.
Me taking Heavy and pointing at the bleachers because we're about to park one in center field.
Megan said Mixon could see a lot of carries if they get up early, though. Yeah, that is possible.
Move over, Schwarber. Right. This is going to land on the fucking scoreboard.
Yep. Oh, now see, Heavy. Now, why are you backing out on me here with the not a 5-unit play? What in the? You got me.
It's to win
5 units.
You bought me a fancy dinner. You took me out to the movie, and now we get to park on the point. And you're wanting.
And he's
to go
like,
home
I
early.
swear this has never happened to me before.
Hey, look at Coach's new. Hey, let me see that sweater.
Like that?
I like that sweatshirt. Turn around. Let me see the back of it. Is that our new one?
Ooh, that's your new.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Look at that.
The red one looks nice.
Very nice.
I like the red one.
Yeah,
looks good.
I'll have another one. The next one. I got the HOA one in.
Outstanding.
Oh,
what? Heather says Heavy about to get the will treatment from Coach.
we're gonna win. I feel good about this, Heavy, and I'm putting these three together. Like I said, I'm calling it my three-legged gazelle play of the day.
Well, let's build this lineup. I got a 2-hour commute before kickoff yet.
I got something for you, Heavy. I mean, it's kind of last minute because I haven't done my DFS lineups yet. I usually do them after I speak to these gentlemen. Let me give you one. Ready? It's the best I can do at last minute here. All right, quarterback. I'm going to go with Captain Kirk because he's best value at 5,900. We could probably get some nice return on that. Yeah, after all the shit I've been talking about him, but he's going to pass the ball. He's going to pass the hell out of the ball. Saquon Barkley as my running back. I think at 7,900, that offers some pretty good value, and the Giants are going to use Saquon a lot. Here we go. You got to get some savings, man. So I think I'm going to go a little low here. James Cook from
you got both my running backs.
4,800. You got to, when it comes to drafting, you have these different law prices that you got to throw those guys in there. So I got T. Higgins. All right, I'm thinking T, might get some love there. That's everybody's going to focus on Jamar Chase, and he's been a stud all year long. Here you go, man. Ready? You need some value or wide receiver. So Isaiah Hodgins, who's been targeted a lot lately, and you look at the targets that have been up there. So it's one of those things with the Giants receiver. Someone's going to be open and it's going to get a touchdown in 50 yards. It's going to be him, and of course, I like the stack, so I got to put in Justin Jefferson there with Captain Kirk.
I like it.
Here we go.
I'm going to book that right now, guys, and I'm going to get off here before my family gets mad because I've got to go do some things. So,
all right, buddy.
Love it.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Heavy. Hey, stop falling asleep during the game.
Hey, I will. Heavy. You and I, three-legged gazelle. I got it down. It's in. I will be seeing you next week at the pay window. See ya.
Heather throwing out our website where you can get those hoodies like Coach is wearing. She's the MVP of the episode.
MVP. MVP. Hey, give a shout out to Finn.
Yeah.
Undertale. Corns pops a bad dude. And he ran with some bad boys.
There's a sneak peek to our Corn Pop Player of the Week, which will be coming up on Tuesday.
Yep, Tuesday night. It's already been decided.
I think so.
Sad to say. Who's your other wide receiver?
So Jefferson and Isaiah Hodgins are my 2 wide receivers. Then I'm down to tight end now. I'm gonna go back to the Buffalo well because that they're playing Miami and Miami probably definitely Knox. Knox has this. It's at 4,000. I mean, you got a lot of other guys that are, Isaiah Likely. I mean, there's not much at tight end. You could probably go. I don't have a lot of money left because I went high, but Gesicki, he's not going to get any love. And then Hawkinson, maybe if you could make it work, but then you got just Andrews, who I wouldn't trust either. So I think Knox is going to be one of those guys that can sneak in a touchdown and maybe 4 or 5 receptions, since FanDuel is PPR. And this is all Buffalo. What I'm finishing up with, Gabe Davis. I think Gabe is going to catch a bomb.
Ooh.
And then the Bills defense, they should be all over freaking, because I'm shocked that they're priced at 3,300, actually lower than the Bengals. Actually, the Bengals are 3,500, and I like the Giants defense. If you want to pick them and then kind of go ahead and increase the prices on other players, but I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go conservative here. So it's best I could do in short notice, man. But that's what I think I'm gonna play. I'm definitely playing this lineup, so I already saved it.
Nice. I had way similar to yours, so I switched out my running back. I have Daniel Jones, and then I stacked him with Isaiah Hodgins because Hodgins, all he does is catch touchdowns. And then I got Barkley and J.K. Dobbins as my running backs. I think they've been saving Dobbins for this game. And then Jefferson and Tyler Boyd, just in case T. Higgins' hip backs up. Isaiah Likely at tight end because Cincinnati is vulnerable to the tight end. I think Likely caught a touchdown last time they played. Dalvin Cook in the flex because I think same thing with Dobbins. They've been saving him for this game, and they're just going to give him the ball a million times. Bills defense because Skylar Thompson.
Yeah,
so we're gonna win $125,000 today on $1. That's gonna be incredible.
Man. There you go.
Hey, David S. He's talking to you, Eric, directly right there.
He says he needs to learn how to bet from us. He sucks at it. That's okay. We can fix it.
Hey, you just come here, and also you go over to gameon.locals.com.
Yeah,
and there's all we do is bet with the Game On podcast, Heavy Steps and Will over there. And we do it every week, all week, not just football either. You can go over there and get NBA picks, college basketball picks, MMA picks. We're degenerate. So know that going in. But you can and show up here every weekend and all we're doing is betting all year round.
Yep. Over on PatriotSportsNow.com, you can get
Eric's articles up there.
You can get the articles. Trevor Lawrence over 13.5 rush yards. He had to have over 13.5 rush yards last night.
He did.
Both teams scored 19.5. Both teams scored 24.5, plus 190 and plus 300. So you could have had those last night. Today we got J.K. Dobbins over 61.5 rush yards. Roquan Smith, 11 tackles, minus 130. Good stuff. Good stuff. I should put another article out today.
What's Heather say there?
You got some,
What's Heather saying? Heather is saying Finnegan is watching us on television eating goldfish while I make breakfast. Finnegan, are those flavor blasted? They better be flavor blasted.
Yeah.
He's going to be gambling with the preschool kids. Yeah, get him some dice. We were playing dice in homeroom in like 6th grade.
Absolutely. We can learn how to play craps right here. We'll be taking all the good goldfish.
My buddy Eric never had lunch money because homeroom was before lunch.
Oh my God.
Oh, poor guy.
Good morning.
Good morning, Will.
Will's up.
Will's in the building.
Yep. David said he picked up Gabe and Knox. as his sleepers in his Yahoo Champion League. That's a good idea.
Absolutely.
Gabe Davis can catch those 50-yard touchdowns. Those will help you out. Line up, say thanks. No problem, buddy.
No problem, man.
E-Man got you.
Happy to
We have it all over here. E-Man will throw you his DFS all day.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I was a little more successful. It's just DFS is such a coin flip, man. You know, you could go in there with the right game script, and it just happens to be the guy that nobody picks gets, 25 points.
Well, we got him. We got Isaiah Hodgins.
I mean,
we're in great shape.
I picked like 4 of them, all right? So hopefully one of them will hit.
Exactly.
Oh,
all
man.
right, so it's going to be
is that Chef?
Yeah, that's Chef from
from
the
Chef,
trenches.
bro. That's Chef from the trenches, right? What up?
Yep.
Chef, that's you, right, bro?
I didn't even realize that. What's up, Chef? Yes. Yeah, that's Chef.
What up, Chef? Man.
What up, brother? Starfield is legit, and Dolphins will have to throw all game. How you not pick any of those 3?
That's true. We should. That's not a bad idea. Go with somebody down there is going to have to catch balls. Trent Sherfield, Mike Gesicki. One of them too.
Gesicki's been horrible all year long, man.
He has.
With that type of talent,
if we have good enough bets, we don't have to reach down that far in the barrel. I feel like.
Oh man.
But Meg may have something here. We may have to bring Meg on the show.
Yeah. No, hate that idea.
Meg absolutely knows what they're talking about.
Meghead's been highly involved this season. Appreciate the hell out of Meghead.
And good. No, like not an idiot. I had a beautiful parlay hit yesterday. Oh, of course.
The opposite, dude.
If you're not at gameon.locals.com, you're missing out on these.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
At plus 1,200, that's good, right?
Yep.
Oh,
that's not bad. That's not bad. 12 times your money's pretty good.
That's a good day in the office right there.
Yep. Absolutely.
Well, what do you guys think? How long we been going? An hour 30?
Hour and a half. Yep. Suppose we should hit the road, huh? If we want to make kickoff.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Hang on, E-Man.
What?
Oh, do you already have it? Sorry.
Nope. I was just going to thank people. What do you got?
Just E-Man get all the stuff out.
Oh, yeah. See? Teamwork.
Hey, find me at just go to Twitter, which is the quickest way to find me, Joe's_talk, and hit the bio. You'll see my link tree, and just get on the link tree, and you'll see where all the platforms where you could get my podcast, audio, video, boom. Just hit me up and follow me on Twitter. That's the best way to catch me.
One-stop shop, just like PatriotSportsNow.com.
I want to give a shout out to all the guys all the people out over on Getter. We got about 1,200 watching right now. What up? What up, guys?
What, Getter? You're coming right along. Getter working on being my favorite.
But it doesn't integrate with StreamYard for the chat yet. But I think they're working on that.
Okay. Tell you what, I'm going to get back over there. I'm going to be a little more active on the Getter. I'm going to put Twitter on the back burner for a minute. Twitter doesn't appreciate me anyways. I say all this fucking really funny shit and I get like 4 likes. And now, thanks to Elon, I get to see that 747 people saw my joke and didn't laugh. So that damages my self-esteem. So I'm going to just go over to Getter. Fuck it.
Oh, man.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. David, Heavy Steps, Meghead. I mean, Jonah, all the people.
All the new ones. We got a couple of new ones today, too.
Huh?
A couple of new listeners today, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
People, we got to get the cowbell in here. All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Enjoy the football today. Be good to each other. Chris, kick the outro music.
Peace.
I'm on it.
Some memorabilia. Ooh. We got a nice UFC love.
You've been listening to Patriot Sports Radio. If you're sick of all the national talking heads and biases of mainstream sports media, like we are, this show is for you. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like, rate, and review. And we'll be back soon. For more content and merch, hit up www.patriotsportsnow.com. Find us on Twitter at PatriotsPod, on Instagram and Facebook at Patriot Sports Now, and on Getter, Rumble, and YouTube at Patriot Sports. Take care, and we'll see you next time.